Rob, what's the most memorable investment experience you've had?
Wow. I think in investing, it's really all about the difficult times. Been in this job for over 25 years. I guess definitely the most challenging was the GFC. Just the way the whole global economy really froze, and really just very, very scary in terms of what that outcome was going to be. In the end, as we know, massive stimulus led to recovery, but managing money in that environment was extremely difficult. Fortunately, we come from a fairly sort of risk observant background, so actually we didn't perform too poorly, but nonetheless, definitely there, scarred in the memory.
What's the biggest environmental challenge outside of the climate debate issues? Which other one?
Yeah, for us, it's definitely the big W, waste. If you think about waste, obviously, running a sustainable portfolio, we're very much focused on industrial waste, but consumer waste is at least a bigger part of that. And, what we buy, how we dispose, huge challenges. Plastic in the water, a huge challenge.
Outside the obvious of us speaking English, which other language would be most useful to you in working life?
Yeah, for us, and myself as an Asia focus manager, clearly Chinese, Mandarin. So obviously you've got the markets across China and the markets across Taiwan, and that within the index now is almost 50% of the index. So certainly Mandarin.
Which emerging market city would you recommend for a holiday?
Well, I'm biased because I lived there for a bit, but Bangkok in Thailand for me is just the ideal. It captures everything. You've got wonderful culture, wonderful people, incredible food, amazing historical sites, and great fun. So yeah, Bangkok, Thailand, a wonderful place to visit. Highly recommend it.
So do you want to give us a date for the last fossil fuel car to roll off the production line?
Yeah, well, the sooner the better. And we're obviously spending a lot of time in this segment. And the issues are essentially the cost of the car, so when it reaches parity, and then the infrastructure, and then indeed within that the components, to ensure that electrification of cars is in its entirety, as positive as we think it is. So it's a challenge. Europe's targeting, in the 2030s to 40s. EM is clearly going to be behind that, but certainly we hope, general targets of net neutrality around that for the EM anyway, around that, around 2060s. Let's certainly hope we're there by then.
What's the most environmentally unfriendly thing we as consumers do every day?
Oh, it's back to that consuming waste, packaging. We have got quite a big family, and now we're a bit more disciplined in terms of sort of collecting and separating that waste. But I'm just shocked by the volume, a family of 4 or 5, create. It's incredible, and a real worry because predominantly plastic, and we know how difficult that is to break down and treat. So yeah, that's a big challenge.
What new technology is most ripe for adoption in emerging markets?
Yeah, well, the beauty of emerging markets is they come from an infrastructure which is much more less developed, essentially. So much less in-store, much less old-style payments with cash. So the beauty is when you align the sort of new digital economy, you can really leapfrog across that legacy infrastructure. And that's why you see such fast adoption of the technology when it does come. So payment systems, platforms, travel. So that's the advantage from a low base, just real acceleration and usage of those new platform technologies, essentially across a whole range of goods and services.
Do you ever totally switch off all your connected devices?
I'm afraid at home, we don't. I mean, obviously, the fridge freezer is a difficult one to do. We are tried to be disciplined, particularly during the day. At work, yeah, we have process to abide by turning off all devices at certain times.
And which household chore would you want a robotic or artificial intelligence solution for?
Actually, back to your former question, to have actually a smart device that could sort of divert and shut off, electric usage at the right time, that would be great. It's not there yet. I think the Internet of Things, which is what we're heading towards, and now that's merging into metaverse, that will come because it's basically a convergence of both technology and hardware. So I think actual smart devices, is something that's actually coming. For now, it's really been just sort of quite gimmicky in terms of the functionality. So that would be fantastic.
Thank you, Rob.